Good evening. Welcome to the Willows Planning Commission meeting for May 5th, 2026 here in Willows City Hall. Our first item is going to be our Pledge of Allegiance, but before we do that, I would like to welcome Jesse Powell to our illustrious board, whatever. But welcome. Thank you very much. Let's stand for our Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance. Flag of you. Roll call.
Chair Quorum,
Here.
Vice Chair McNeil,
Here.
Commissioner Nygaard,
Here.
Commissioner Brock. Here. Commissioner Powell.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, next item. Are there any changes to the agenda?
There are none.
Okay. Each meeting, we offer an opportunity for public comment. All items on our consent calendar are considered routine and may be approved with a single vote unless removed for a separate discussion by the chair and commissioners. Individuals wishing to speak on consent items or matters not on the agenda are asked to complete a speaker card and submit it to the city clerk. All remarks shall be directed to the chair and commissioners and are limited to 3 minutes. By law, the commission cannot discuss or take action on items not listed on the posted agenda. So we have our consent calendar, which is recommended action, approve the minutes of April 7, 2026 Planning Commission meeting. Would someone like to make a motion to accept our consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the April 7, 2026 meeting.
I second the motion.
We have a motion and a second to approve our consent agenda. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Number 6, discussion and action calendar. All matters on the discussion and action calendar will be discussed and acted on individually. Individuals wishing to speak on these items are asked to complete a speaker card and submit it to the city clerk. Comments should be directed to the chair and commissioners and are limited to 3 minutes. By law, the commission cannot discuss or take action on items not listed on the posted agenda. Our first item, 6A, is a manufactured home conditional use permit, file number CUP 2602 at 337 North Lassen Street. The recommended action is receive the staff report and attachments, discuss, and upon conclusion, consider approving the conditional use permit and adopting the attached resolution. Staff.
Good evening, Joe Betancourt, Community Development Services Director. This item before you, as mentioned, is a CUP for 337 North Lassen Street. I'm going to go through some of the history of this project. It is quite lengthy. We have Stacy Stevenson here that can answer questions, who is a representative of the applicant, Larry Ritchie. So after I go through the background, Amy will take it over and go through the CUP portion of it. So this item was originally approved by the Planning Commission in November of 2022. After approval, the applicant submitted building plans and received plan approval from internal plan check review. The project was not reviewed for the sewer connection piece when it was approved for the plan check by staff. After that, there was discovered that the applicant would need to connect to a private lateral, sewer lateral, in order to hook the house up to the sewer line. The people that own the private sewer lateral were not willing to work with the applicant on attaching to that sewer. So then the applicant worked on an alternative sewer route, and this is through an easement, which would be through the west of the property to connect directly to the city sewer. Those plans were then approved in August of 2024. However, after those plans were approved, the project went stagnant. In September of 2025, the city received a code enforcement complaint regarding the manufactured home on the property. As it currently sits, it's not put together. The staff attempted to make multiple contact with the applicant to move the project forward, which was unsuccessful, and then moved forward with administrative fines beginning on April 1st to have the property either abated or a plan of action come forward. Most recently, the applicant authorized Stacy Stevenson, who I mentioned is in the audience today, to work on his behalf. We met with Stacy and talked with Larry at a meeting in late April and came up with a game plan to get this project back on its feet. We're very optimistic that we can all work together from this point and achieve what was originally planned, and that's a standing housing structure connected to the city sewer with an easement that, kind of to go through the history again, the easement's been approved, the plans have now been approved. The applicant has paid their previous plan check fees to this point and is currently working on their encroachment permit. So even in this short time, in between that late April meeting and now, we have made significant progress towards getting this going. Since it was previously approved in 2002 for the CUP, it's before you today because there is no more extensions, resubmittals. We have to go through a whole new process. If this is successful today, we will be working on finalizing encroachment permit and reviewing the plans again for 2025 code conformance as it was completed on a different one. We don't expect any issues with that. And in the conditions of approval, we've added some stronger timelines than we normally have for completion of the project. So if this CUP is awarded, we put in the applicant would have 6 months to finish the project, or if there's no extenuating circumstances, we could extend if we felt like there was a need to at that point. But we really tried to make it, once we get through this, the project would be finished in a timely manner. So Stacy is also, Larry Ritchie has provided a letter, I believe you guys all have, kind of explaining his side, goes into additional detail about the applicant background and their struggles on losing their engineer through the project. So kind of the perfect storm has been happening with this. But with that, I'll pass it off to Amy to go through the CUP application.
Perfect. Okay. So that was a lot of information. Just to kind of roll through it, 337 North Lassen Street is located on south of Wood Street. It is one parcel over from Wood Street, so it does not front Wood Street. It's located in the entryway zoning district. And this is the site plan. There would be about a 1,400 square foot manufactured home located towards the front of the property. It would have a carport on the western side of the manufactured home. And then there would also be a 960 square foot garage located in the rear of the property. This is a picture of the existing conditions and what the manufactured home looks like right now. And this is a photograph of what the garage would look like. This is a replica of what it would look like. There's also a little color swatch. It would be painted in like a blue and white color scheme. So the Willows Municipal Code allows residential uses on vacant properties in the entryway zoning district if they meet certain parameters. And the first one is that the property does not abut Wood Street, which in this case, the project site does not abut Wood Street. It is one parcel over. That the parcel abuts other residential uses, which this project site does. There's a residence directly to the south. There's a residence also to the west and another one across the street to the east. And that the parcel complies with the residential development standards. This is for setbacks, height, and lot coverage. And I included a nice little table in your staff report, which analyzed that, and the project site does conform with those requirements. So with that, we're recommending that the Planning Commission approve the conditional use permit and adopt the resolution contained in the staff report.
Thank you. Any questions from up here? We can start over with Sherry.
I do not have any.
I have no question.
No questions here.
Well, I have a couple.
Yep.
I'm concerned they're going to have to cut a driveway in the front off on Lassen Street. Are there any guidelines about how far that should be away from a main lateral, Wood Street per se?
As far as the actual location of the driveway from a lateral, like not allowing it to be at that residence because of its location?
I'm sorry, I neglected to put my hearing aids in tonight.
Okay,
I'm a bad boy, so I need you to speak a little closer to the
No
mic.
problem, no problem. So as far as I'm aware of, there is not, Wood Street would be controlled by Caltrans. The driveway is needed in order to access the property. We do require that all residences have a 2-car garage if they're above a 2-bedroom. So the driveway by code would be required in order to access that garage. We do have standards, city-specific standards on how the driveway is built, and then ADA standards for the sidewalk piece of it. So usually, judging by the street, when we redid Lassen Street, we also added a driveway to City Hall out here on both entrances. It would look something to that effect to the city standard.
Yeah, I'm concerned about that. I live in the middle of a block, a 1-block long street. And when I look to back up and see no one, within a few seconds, there's someone there. And I'm just concerned that could be a potential accident area for someone who lives in this modular home, driving out, especially if they're going to make a left turn so they can get on Wood Street. I don't know if there's any way that it can be researched to find out about that. I realize it would change what the applicant really would like to have. I can understand a driveway right there by the carport, but at the same time, I don't think we want to create a position where it's prone to accidents.
Yeah, staff can look into that and see if that's a piece of it. I just, with the requirement to have the parking with the residents, I don't see how we could get around having a driveway at that location, as there is no other access point, unfortunately. Either alley access or the Wood Street access.
Well, yes, I would assume they are going to use alley access since the garage is back there.
No, it's
No? There isn't right now because there's a fence there. There's no alley?
abut each other.
Okay.
You're good.
Identify yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Stacy Stevenson. I represent Larry Ritchie. I came in the middle of this project. He called me. He moved to Missouri, and that's part of the fail. He called me. I've known him for a long time. I'm a general contractor. I work for ACD. I've been in the business for a long time. So he called me to ask him or to help him get through this.
Sure.
So to your question, one, there is no alleyway there. It doesn't look like there would ever be one because the two properties back up to each other, just like the neighboring property. And then also across the street, there is almost directly across from where this driveway is going to be, there's already a driveway there. And this particular lot already had a home on it. Apparently it burnt down some time ago.
Long time ago.
Yeah, that was the backstory that I got.
Okay.
So, and then also to go forward a little bit, I do have a timeline on from the time we start to the time we will be done with the project. We're figuring 90 to 120 days we'll be done out of there. And I'm kind of taking over the project. So, and I live locally. I live in Orland.
So you're ready to start almost immediately.
Excuse me?
You're ready to start almost immediately.
Yeah, as soon as the plans are submitted, as soon as we get through this process, we have all the fees paid, all the paperwork's in place, we're ready to go.
Will the modular home have a concrete foundation or concrete block?
No. The state regulation calls for a tie down system, which is also a foundation system. They're kind of the same thing. So it will be attached to the property. It just won't be a concrete foundation. It's what we call a foundation system. It's an engineered system that attaches to the house, which attaches to the ground. And that what makes it a permanent residence.
So are there skirts then around the modular?
Yeah, the skirting around the house will match what the house siding is down to within 6 inches of the ground. So that,
Okay.
water doesn't imperviate and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm sure it's acceptable. It's unfortunate because it's going to make it look more like a modular rather than a home.
Well, the newer mobile homes or modular home, manufactured home, there's several names for it. When this project's done, because of the roof line and because of the sidewalks and the steps and stuff that are going in, it'll actually resemble a regular stick-built home more so than a manufactured home. Manufactured homes have come a long ways in the past years. They're built 2x6 walls. This house has I believe, a 6 and 12 pitch roof on it. It's not a flat roof. So this roof has to be pitched up and then all put together. So it's got a little bit steeper roof. So it looks more like a traditional style home.
Yes.
Yeah.
I understand that. I guess I just have to disagree with you. I have modular homes in my neighborhood, and you can tell the difference, and they are on concrete foundations. That's why I didn't know if our rules required that or not. I guess not. So
As long as we have an engineered foundation system attached to the home,
yeah,
which attaches to the ground, it's considered a
Okay.
foundation.
I get it. So that's okay. This is a direct question for staff. On the sidewalk in front, currently it's asphalt, or part of it is. Will that be removed and be made concrete?
I haven't looked at the plan. Stacy, maybe you can speak to this. Normally, we would require the sidewalk up front to be conforming with city standard when a new home is built. That may be in the conditions as well, but yes, that is the standard that it would made to be standard of the city, which the asphalt is
No,
not.
there's already a actual concrete sidewalk there. I believe, if I remember right, it goes up to the lot line of the property that faces Wood Street.
I think it goes a little bit further, actually.
Yeah, I think on the other-
I can't remember what happened there. It may have just been a bad sidewalk, and that was a quick fix that ended up being permanent.
yeah, I think but the actual concrete that the new sidewalk they put in actually, like you said, goes all the way to the
Okay.
lot on Wood Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
Condition 19 states all streets, curbs, gutters, sidewalks, or other public facilities damaged in the course of construction shall be the responsibility of the developer. And that's not the one I was looking for. Thank you. Improvement plans shall be prepared and submitted by a registered civil engineer and replacement of existing sidewalk, curb, gutter improvements per standard 203 within the public right of way.
Well, that has kind of been an eyesore over there for a long time, as you well know. So I know people in our community will be anxious to see something happen and to eventually see it completed. And I'm happy to hear that you want to get right on it and get it
Yeah,
finished.
I have a lot of years in the business. I've been doing this for 40 years. Something that is just my life. When we get done and walk away from there, it will actually be a benefit to the community. There'll be another house, somewhere to put people. We know how housing is these days, right? Everybody needs a place to live. In my opinion, it's going to be a benefit to Willows. It's a
I'm
nice,
sure it will be.
yeah, it's a nice home. It'll look really nice when it's done. It'll, in my opinion, it'll be a really nice project.
Okay. Thank you.
Hmm?
Did I create any questions in anybody's mind? If
Well-
not, I take a motion.
Oh, I was just going to say the sidewalk or the driveway issue doesn't concern me at all.
Me either,
I think that falls upon the person backing out or pulling in.
especially since there was a house there before.
Exactly, and there was a house
Yeah.
and
Well,
there are
the,
other driveways right near.
Will you be able to get to the garage from the carport? Can you drive a car on through the carport and go into the garage if you so choose?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's going to be all concreted?
Yeah,
Or-
the driveway will go from the sidewalk all the way up to the garage.
Okay,
Yep, and it's actually there's a pretty good swath of land right there that, I mean, a person in a small car can almost turn around right there. But to her, I kind of agree with her we all been driving. So when you pull out, you stop, you look, right? And I agree with you as well, where someone could come flying around that corner.
oh, they do.
Right. But we have to we kind of got to look at the reasonableness of
Well,
it. Right?
yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Whoever lives there is just going to have to be very conscientious
Right.
about that.
Right.
Out of curiosity, I just have a question. All the sewer issues have been resolved and that doesn't look to be have any
Yes,
errors?
Yeah, the sewer issue's been resolved. There's a right of way that goes through the neighbor behind. We've already been in contact with him. He's okay with everything. We just have to go through his yard and connect to the ladder on the street behind us. So that's all been resolved.
Good.
And it's been through planning. They've already approved it. It's just somewhere the ball got dropped. I wasn't
Right.
involved with any of that. I'm just now coming on this, just like he said, in April. So some of the background, is a little wishy-washy with me as well. So, but I just want to move forward and get this project completed.
I agree.
Do you have a comment?
I was just going to add that, yeah, on the plans, it states the document number of the easement through the neighbor's yard that they're going to take. And then the encroachment permit piece that we're working on right now will be the final documents that when you connect into our sewer, you'll repair the road up back to our standard again. So there's one little piece to it, but the access to our main has been secured through an easement that's been recorded.
Perfect.
And that's kind of the last puzzle I have to put. The puzzle piece I have is the encroachment permit. I have everything else in line. I'm just working on getting that getting the bond, getting everything together that I need to get together. I'm working on that, and that should be completed. I'm hoping by either tomorrow or the next day. We
Okay,
should be able to get that submitted as well.
okay,
And tonight, I'm going to go ahead and give Mr. Betancourt some the building permit application with the fee and all that, so we can keep
Okay.
moving forward.
well, we're happy to see it continue and not be an eyesore anymore. Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll move that we approve item 6A, manufactured home / conditional use permit, file number CUP 26-02337 North Lassen Street.
I'll second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second for item 6A to accept the staff report for the manufactured home. Any other questions? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Item number 7 is comments and reports. Anyone on our commission have any comments or reports to make? You do?
I mean, I would just like to comment on the joint meeting that we had and say how much I enjoyed it. And also that I'm really thankful that we decided to meet again because I want to hear from everyone. I have, as you guys probably know from a previous meeting, I have no problem going through everything line by line. It's how I learn, and it's how I like to know where other people stand. It's how I make my own decisions. So I really enjoyed that night. I like when the city council and the planning commission can all understand where everybody's coming from. So I just want to say thank you for that. It was a good night.
Well, I have to apologize that I wasn't at that meeting. I have a very legitimate reason. My son is a deputy sheriff in Tulare County, and he was receiving an award as Officer of the Year for his county. And
Had to be there.
my family is more important, obviously. So I'll be anxious to go to the next one and hear what all happened and whatnot. Anybody else? No. Staff, what do you have to say to us?
I'm kind of just going to reiterate some things here. You guys covered it. Again, as Commissioner Chair Quorum stated, I want to welcome Jesse Powell here. Very happy to have you. I'm glad we have a full planning commission. It's nice to have you participating in this. On her application, her main goals were wanted to be involved in the city's growth and is passionate about supporting safety, a clean environment where children and families, businesses, and individuals can thrive. And I think that's a great mission and a goal that the majority of the city of Willows can get behind. So again, want to welcome her. Yes, we held a joint planning commission, city council planning commission meeting to go over Title 18 related to zoning. We had great discussion on that. We got valuable feedback. It was the first draft. Harrison Associates is taking that information back to incorporate it. And we will be holding a second meeting, joint City Council Planning Commission meeting on Tuesday, May 19th at 5:30 in the City Council chambers. And we'll be picking up where we left off on Chapter 18.110, General Provisions, through the remainder of Title 18. And I'm sure we'll recap any other things we can do with that. The public is invited, and we'd love you guys to come out and share your thoughts along with us. You definitely don't have to get up and speak. You can listen along and hear us chat and throw any ideas out that you have. And I want to give a thank you to the City Council, Planning Commission, staff, and Harrison Associates for putting in a good amount of detailed information into this. It's obviously a very important chapter. That's why we're calling it out specifically and spending this amount of time on it. So while we're going through this process, it's nice to be as detailed so we get it as right as we possibly can. So again, thank you all for that. And that's all I have.
Okay. I guess that's it. You ended up in a very nice position tonight where we had a very short meeting. It's a good way to start.
In contrast to the joint meeting.
She was at the, she did.
Were you at the
yeah,
joint
she
meeting?
was.
Oh, okay. Well, then you really got indoctrinated.
Got a heavy dose.
Meeting adjourned. Hey, Lori, I